Hey everyone, my name is Abhijit. I am a certified life coach and a mental fitness enabler. Welcome to my channel. Please do take a moment to subscribe to my channel and watch all my other videos that I'll put in the description below. Today's topic of discussion is along the lines of how a life coach like myself can help you understand concepts such as meaning and purpose. So let's start with there. Let's start with first understanding what meaning is versus what purpose is, right? Both, the commonalities is that both are essentially inward looking and best when found from within, that you can then truly feel absorbed in what you're doing. And meaning in that sense is finding value and fulfillment in what you do. Purpose is a much more overarching reason for your existence. So meaning is a circle and purpose is the larger circle. And meaning comes within the larger circle. Now that we have established that meaning is finding value and fulfillment in what you do, in other words, we see that meaning is it translates and finds its place in things like passion. So for example, I am passionate about a sport or about being a musician. So you associate your profession in one sense as something that you find meaning in. And as you find value and fulfillment through that, you associate yourself with that. That's one way of looking at meaning. And purpose is, what is it that makes you so driven about what you do? So in this example, it's, for example, if I'm a sports person, I can inspire other kids to take up the sport, for instance. That's the larger purpose, or I want to contribute to the community. So there are, of course, in the nuance of it, various juxtapositions you can draw, intricacies you can find. Many a times these terms both overlap and also exist independently. Right? Going from meaning and purpose, now we go into meaning versus being meaningful. Now again, within the circle of meaning itself, the act of exercising meaning is where you become meaningful. Meaning you do what you do with diligence, and it's an impact of worthiness and impact of how you view yourself also in the course of being meaningful. So essentially, that meaning that you have enables you to become meaningful, and in the process you work towards a goal. So meaningful in that sense is very process oriented, right? The third concept is purpose versus purposeful, right? So purpose in one sense is a deeper driving force. Right? It is the overarching structure that I had touched upon earlier. And purposeful is, in one sense, a measure of how successful you are in being able to accomplish that purpose. So it's almost like purpose being the larger circle and then being purposeful within that to achieve what you want to do. And here it's very important to understand that while meaning, in one sense, at least in the flow that I've talked about, meaning and meaningful, purpose and purposeful, the reason I've given you definitions of each of these or tried to segregate each of these is because, and that goes into my fourth point that I want to touch upon, which is to stop chasing meaning and purpose. And I repeat that you should stop chasing meaning and purpose. And that's because if you really think about it, and this is where I come in as a life coach, if someone comes to me and says, Abhijit, can you help me achieve a certain target that I have in mind, a certain goal that I have in mind, for instance, I want to become a billionaire by so and so time. I'm running a business, I want to become a billionaire by so and so time, right? This is what they come to me with. One very, very important question that I ask them is, do you find that this is something you really want to do? Or is this something that you're doing because the people around you are telling you that this is how you make a difference in the world, this is how you're meaningful and purposeful and all that in life? And I think that's very important, because a whole lot of people I talk to, I come across, are doing things because, and they don't even realize, is stuff they've picked up from around them, from society, from what their parents have told them, family has told them. You become, you score great marks in your high school. It means you've ticked off one societal box of meaning and purpose. Then you go on to do engineering or medicine, then that's another big box ticked. And then you go on to get married and have kids, and again there's another box ticked. So they associate so-called societal check boxes that no one even knows who put there. If you really, really look at it, no one knows who put it there. It's just something that people ended up agreeing upon, and that's on a level of, say, ego consciousness in one sense. And again, ego consciousness is something that I'll probably talk about in another video. I don't wish to digress. But coming back to specifically the point I was making, which is that meaning and purpose is not something you find on the outside. It's something you find on the inside, but not by chasing it. You don't find meaning and purpose. You realize meaning and purpose. Meaning that you are meaning and you are purpose. The only thing you have to do is become meaningful and become purposeful. So when you realize that you are meaning and you are purpose, a lot of people may also ask, what is the purpose of life? What is the meaning to life? The truth is, there is neither purpose nor meaning to life. You are purpose, you are meaning, and you are life. You have just forgotten it because you have kind of drifted into the reality of things and into what other people have to say about what you are. Whatever you are not, if you're able to put aside, then you slowly start to really, really see who you really are. And this is something that a lot of spiritual teachers talk about. The yogic system essentially touches upon this as well. And I find so much of value in all of that, and so much of depth in every of those aspects that have been touched, which is why what I try to point out to tell people is that you've got to stop chasing meaning and purpose, and you have to simply become meaningful and purposeful. Why? Because meaning and purpose is a goal someone has set for you, that you accomplish so and so by certain time. Meaningful and purposefulness is you working in that trajectory towards that meaning and purpose. If I take away that meaning and purpose from you, then it's likely that you will start to panic, because you will want to hold on to something tangible. I have to become a doctor, I have to become a musician, I have to do this, I have to do that, I want to do this, I want to do that. But you don't really want to, because if you really, really wanted to, you may probably not even feel the pressure of doing it. The duality of it wouldn't hit you. There'll be no doubt that this is what you want to do. Which is why my approach is more process oriented versus result oriented. What I try to do in the course of my life coaching practice is to help people simply become accepting of the fact that they are purpose and they are meaning. And as I do that, the next step and the step within is to simply become purposeful and meaningful. How you become purposeful and meaningful is you become, in one sense, an observer of yourself. You start to learn from yourself. You start to really, really see and understand what you really think, what you really feel, what you really do. And all of that together in amalgamation helps you work towards your goals. Goal setting isn't so much about a destination. Goal setting is itself a process, and the process itself is to set a goal. And if you really look at it, meaning and purpose are both intertwined and separate at the same time. Your goal and your process also both intertwined and separate at the same time. And the mind is not particularly accepting that a single thing can be both, and this is a concept that is not new. It's been around for ages, for generations, and it's something that we need to warm up to, because we live in a world where people, especially fresh graduates from university, are stuck and they're not able to understand what to do in life. Like, their parents tell them, what do you want to, ask them, what do you want to become? They go around their relatives and uncles and aunts, ask them, what do you want to become? I can't remember the last time anyone asked me how I'm doing. It seems to be more interesting to people to understand what I want to do or what I'm doing, right? And I think what then happens is you go on a goose chase, because you're constantly trying to become something. You're becoming a doctor, you're becoming a chartered accountant, you're becoming a musician. You are not a human being then, you're a human doing. And when I say you need to become a human being first, it means you have to absorb into who you really are. And there are practices that can help you do that. It may take days, months, years. There's no shortcut to it. I am myself working towards it. So I'm not talking from a saintly space. I am also working towards it. So in one sense, as you start working towards becoming a human being first, then you can focus on doing. And the best way to become a human being first is to come to terms with the fact that you are life, you are meaning, and you are purpose. When that comes, there goes through a certain clarity through your mind, and you are then able to become both meaningful and purposeful, to accept who you are and to also accomplish whatever it is that you want to do. And in essence, that's the beauty of it, right? And this is in many ways unique to each person. No two ice creams are the same or taste the same. And it's important to acknowledge that you are unique, and you've got to stop finding yourself and finding meaning and purpose anywhere else. You are meaning, you are purpose. So I hope that this existential question in one sense is also tackled. And when you start looking inward and working towards things, then you automatically reach a space where you are one with the world, and you see the world through you as one, and one with you. And that's, of course, for some other video. But to summarize, there is meaning, there's purpose, there's a difference between the two, and there is also a similarity, and it's important to be able to accept that it can be both, and that you are meaning and purpose, and then comes being meaningful and being purposeful. And in the process, understanding that you have to become a human being first before you become a human doing. So I hope this video helps. I hope this content helps. And do reach out to me. I'm putting my details in the description box below, and I can help work with you on a personalized coaching plan. Do subscribe to my channel and watch my other videos as well. Please remember that I'm here, I care, you matter. And I wish you all the best. Wish you all the happiness. Speak soon.